going, guys and girls? Probably more guys watching this video than girls. Canopies for your ute or your truck. This is one that I've been using for about 4 years now. I designed most of it myself. Well, there's some standard design that you find in most canopies, but everything else outside that is my own design. It's got features that you don't find on other canopies. So if you're transporting dogs, in my case hunting dogs, this is a fantastic setup. Now there's a few things that have always bugged me with a lot of the dog boxes and canopies around, and one of them is visibility. Where you need to see the most is directly right through the back. The side is not so important because you get side view out your rear side windows in your cab, but you need to see out the back. So in this one here, we've constructed, or at least fabricated, a polycarbonate window. Polycarbonate is very tough, so we've got that there, and she's totally lockable. It's got a lock on here. Key. Put the tailgate up. That side is not lockable because that's how the standard ute is. But if you've got a ute with a lockable tailgate, you can also lock the whole back up. But no problem, because the real goods inside has extra places you can lock. I'll show you. I'll bring the camera over. Just place it about there. You should be able to see sweet enough. So inside we've got our dog boxes. We've got 2 on each side. I've got a wee dog down here. He's going to be my model today. Get up! Good dog. And he's going into his side, and as you can see on his side, I've got this matting which has actually got holes in it. So if you're transporting dogs, this is a really good idea, because if it rains, you've got this dry sort of, it remains dry because all the water soaks out. Come here there, Choppy. Now I've told you to get up until you jump out again. You see the holes in that? That's a really good product. Choppy, get in. So this one here, if you wanted to keep your dog from being stolen, just a padlock in there and it's locked up. One of the main requirements I wanted to have when I designed this dog box is I wanted to have onboard water. You can carry plastic containers, but this thing is just so bloody handy. You know, if you've got a dog in the back and it's summertime, you've got a place where it can have a drink straight away. I always keep this container here. If you've been out hunting, you've cleaned an animal out, you want to wash the blood off your hands, having running water you can hold and then just runs off the back of the truck, it's just fantastic. Same with fishing too. So that's a real handy wee feature. Hey Choppy, we can let you out now, mate, because you're just being a model today. He's got a wee bit of blood on his nose because he's been burying his dog tucker. I'm trying to get him fat, but he just buries it all the time, don't you? Got that whippet breed, always looks like he's skinny. Yep, we're going for a hunt very soon, mate. I'm going to get out of my town clothes and we're going to go bush. Anyway, let's carry on with this dog box. I want to show you the tank up close, how it looks. So from this angle here, you can see the tank going right back, and it acts as a strut for the roof to sit on, which we'll have a look up on top. So right now you're up on the front of the truck looking back on it. There's 2 sections which give strength, but also makes 2 compartments. So in the front, when I go away on a trip, I might put my chili bin with my ice, all my frozen stuff there, and save the back for putting any animals that I hunt. Or I just might use it for carrying more camping gear and stuff. Standing on the back of the canopy, it's pretty strong. Go to the second compartment, that's where the water goes in. That's a bit of a mess with some possums I caught in the weekend. Here's a drainage hole, really important, because of course this area will fill up with rain. This is your tie area for tying, say, a ratchet tie down. And we have holes going through the section here, so the water at the back can also drain out and come out through these holes here. At the back is our lighting setup, and there's heaps of room and storage up here. As you can see, right around, plenty of storage. It's almost like having a wee trailer on top. If you're designing and building your own canopy for your truck yourself, this is an absolute bloody must. A fully lockable toolbox, or if you want to be flashy about it, a utility cabinet. Because I'm going for a hunt this afternoon, I've already got my shooter in there, first aid kit, well that stays in there all the time, tracking gear, bowl for the dogs, a gas cooker, pans to cook on, stuff to wrap meat up in, all the bits and pieces. It's waterproof but not airtight on purpose. There's a wee breather up here, you probably notice in the corner. I carry all my dog roll in there, or my own tucker as well, so we want to have a bit of airflow. That's pretty much the canopy on the truck. This is what's known as a wet box. So you've got dry boxes and wet boxes. Wet boxes are ones that have the air flowing right through, like this one does. And also that means the dogs will get wet inside, because in the very back of it, which I'll show you now, we're actually looking from inside the cab, you can see this mesh. So there's airflow right through there. So the dogs have plenty of air. The reason we do that is dogs get hot. Dogs can withstand the cold a lot more than they can withstand the heat, so that's why we've got that free flow air going right through. Having lights up here was also important for me, just for safety purposes. You've got brake lights, driving lights and hazard lights. just more visibility. So if you have lights up there, they've got to be workable. And the way this works is it just plugs in down through the canopy and into a second outlet for my trailer plug at the bottom. So you can mount them, but you've got to have dual plugs because it's illegal to have lights that aren't operating. They must be operating. Pros and cons. Well, as I said before, this is a wet box, so it does mean that things do get wet. For that reason, on this side, I use this stuff here, which dries out very, very quick. But I also carry dry bedding, which I throw on top of that when I'm taking the dogs home after the hunt. On the other side, you can see I've got a bit of carpet, and that's because one of the cons is it's noisy. You get in the hunt zone, dogs are excited, they're wagging their tail, and thump, 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 and everything knows you're there. So that's why I've got carpet on this side. And it's tied in because otherwise it slips around, but then you've got to take it out and dry it every time, so that's a bit of a headache, I guess. What's another con? I think that's really about it. I guess the other thing would be the size, because it's got two sides. You know, if you've got something large like in a normal back of a truck, you can't stick it in. Like I tried to put a lawnmower in the other day, didn't quite fit, had to go and get the trailer. Now there's a headache, so that's one of the things that's against having separate units. And you could have a collapsible unit, but then you wouldn't have anything as strong as this, and you wouldn't have the water tank. So I have seen partitions and dog boxes, but nah, I'll stick with this one. Hope you've enjoyed this little clip. I think I've covered everything. I hope it's useful for you in making your own canopy or designing your own canopy. And all you need is some 3mm alloy or some 3mm alloy tread plate will do the job nicely too, and a good welder, and know what you're doing, and you'll be sweet as. Costs a lot of money to buy something like this made up, so if you make it yourself, you're laughing. If you have any questions, stick them below, and I'll try and answer them for you. And be good. If you cannot be good, then you know the story. Be careful. See you later. Well, I sure don't go utes like they used to. Just don't make him strong anymore, yeah.